Hi, my name is Lior Goldenberg. I'm a record producer, engineer, mixer. Over the years I've worked with everyone from Michael Jackson, Alanis, Morissette, Sheryl, Stone Temple Pilots, Ringo Starr, many others. And I got to work with some great producers over the years, Michael Beinhorn, Rick Rubin, Dave Way. Really great, talented people that taught me some of what I know today, and I got to take it to the next level. Guitar is kind of my forte. I've developed this technique over the years where we split the signal to about anywhere from 6 to 10 amps, and sometimes we use 1 amp at the same time, sometimes we'll use 1 amp at once, and then sometimes we'll use all 10 amps at the same time. I'll bus them to a track, and I really like bussing also. I like to commit to the sound that I'm getting, not like record 10 amps separately and go through it later. So I really like to commit to that big sound right away. And one of the things that really helps me get all the phasing correct and all the placement correct on the amps is using a lot of the flexibility of the Triad-Orbit stands and the mounts and the arms, and really get up in there. I really like getting right on the grill of the amps, and phase is a really big thing for me, and so I really like the Triad-Orbit stuff to just, sometimes you get an impossible angle, and being able to just dial that in. Sometimes it's a micro inch, and nothing else lets me do that. And micros allow me to do that, and it's a really big thing. The 360, and then every angle, and then if sometimes you have an extra heavy mic, the micros have a way to support that weight. It's just it changed the way that I record things, specifically guitars, because in our guitar booth there's not a ton of room. It packs a lot of punch. But we can't get 17 stands in there if we use 17 mics, which sometimes we do. And so having 3 stands for the main amp stacks, and then on each stand getting 4, 5, 6 mics is critical for me to get this job done. So one of my favorite things, and that's a big thing for me, specifically when I do drums, is I like to do a minimalistic setup on the drums, but somehow over the years I've developed this fetish for miking the snare from a lot of angles, from a lot of just positions, and under and over and on the side, and isolated from the hi-hat, and really get into these impossible positions. And having 5 stands under the snare has been a real nightmare, and then the cables, and it really is a pain in the ass. And I've with the Triad-Orbit stuff, being able to get the legs, the articulating legs, pushing the stand and get one leg this way and this leg more flat and then this leg more propped up, I could get 3 stands under the snare without any of them being in each other's way, and that's really critical for me for how I record the snare. One of the things that really helped my flow is miking a snare with the Triad-Orbit stuff. Because I like to get a lot of mics up on there, and I'm kind of just obsessed with snares. And so before, where a position was kind of impossible for me, now it's just easy. So I'll get a snare top and bottom on one stand, and it just clicks like that. So I don't have to sit under the snare and start turning stuff. And I'll check for the snares, and that's it. And they're parallel, and they're great. And sometimes I would raise this and actually put one more C-clamp and get another arm on the snare, and it's just that easy. I don't have to have a jungle of stands under my snare, and it's just it makes everything easier. The other great thing about O2Xs is that they come with 4 arms. There's 2 long ones and 2 short ones, so a lot of times you can only use 2 at a time. So I'll grab those arms, those spare arms that I'm not using, and click one into an OC clamp, which I'll clamp on the stem of my stand. And then the other one, could go to hold a pop filter, could go on an OA ball joint. It's a limitless world in there at Triad-Orbit. One thing that really changed for me is when I got my big blue bottle, I had to use a heavy duty stand, and even with that stand, I would have to tie a sandbag to it because that mic is really heavy. And when I bought the T3C, which is the big T3 stand with the casters, that changed for me. It has a much smaller footprint. I can get it right up by the singer with enough space to walk behind the mic. Again, we don't have a ton of room here. and still plenty of room for the singer to stand in front. And I hang the blue bottle with no problem, with full confidence. I also get the pop filter off the same thing with a C-clamp. I'll get my Q amp, hangs the Q mixer for the singer, hangs off the stand, and it's all there. I used to have about 4 stands to do all that, and now I have 1 stand to hold all that. When I first saw the price list for the Triad-Orbit stuff, I was a little shocked because it's not insane, but it's much more expensive than the common microphone stand and accessory price range. But once I got to using it, it's priceless. I mean, I really have to say it's priceless. And the boost in productivity, the space saving, the time saving, it adds up to money. And to me, it pays for itself pretty much as I work, it pays for itself within the first few weeks. And then you're just racking up, more creativity points. Using Triad-Orbit stands and arms and all the accessories really increased my creativity. I'm able to test more mics, test more angles, change things. I don't have to, think twice before trying another mic, saying, okay, it's going to take us a minute to get that one and take that one off and then get the other one, and maybe the other one. Not every clip is the same, so maybe if we get that clip on, but it's not going to swivel at the right angle. That is a thing of the past with all the arms and the orbital arms. I can just get everything. I can always get something in the right angle, in the right proximity, in the right space. It's just, it changed the way I work. I can't imagine working without the Triad-Orbit stuff anymore, and I prefer not to. So in fact, all the stands that we have that still have the adapter but aren't as flexible, we over time just retire them and don't use them anymore. It's just not as conducive to how creative I've gotten used to be.